Feel free to ask a question if there's something you're confused on. But I'm going to start with what I refer to as body alignment grids. These are lines on the body that we use to help identify our body placement and connect our mind to our body, so we understand what is our body actually doing when we stand in a balletic position. Is it in the right position or is it in the wrong position? I refer to these as grid lines. So I'll just start with what's referred to as the midline of the body. If I just put my feet together, and if I can't see you, but if you're there working at home, if you could just stand with both feet together like this, just stand with both feet absolutely together and parallel. Now this position is actually a foot position. It's referred to as sixth position. That's probably the last time you'll ever hear me say this, but this is sixth position. That would be your feet turned in, parallel, and touching one another. The midline of the body is a grid line that we use to understand if our body is completely vertical. So if you would draw a chalk line from my feet all the way through the center of my body, up through my legs, to the center of my torso, to the center of right through the center of my face, up through my nose, between my eyes, that's the midline of the body. And generally when a ballet dancer is in a proper balletic position, unless they're making a bend, unless they're making a stretch, unless they're doing something like that, some sort of body bend, the midline of the body should be absolutely vertical. So it's generally straight upright. So what do I mean by that? If I would go into now, this is what we call first position. Whenever you see a dancer turned out with their heels together, this is the classic first position. So if I was to do what's called releve, which in ballet means to rise, and a releve is simply pressing my heels off the floor and balancing on the balls of my feet, the midline of my body should be absolutely vertical. It should be absolutely in a straight alignment. What you don't want to see is something that looks like this. When you see a dancer like this, I know they're off balance because the midline is not straight. So the midline of the body wants to be vertical. So that's one way, that's one of our grid lines we can use to identify if the dancer's body is properly in